Yep.
We have a new guest in the studio, and this is the MP for Makadara constituency, the Honorable George Aladwa. He is with us in the studio. Mheshimiwa, good morning.
Good morning too.
It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you.
That is called the hot seat.
Yes.
And we like having duty bearers on the hot seat so we can have conversations on one or two things affecting the country.
Yes.
You are also party officials in ODM for Nairobi.
I'm the chair of the party, Nairobi County.
I told you.
Well done.
I know the man. So ODM Nairobi chairman and MP for Makadara, George Aladwa, is here with us. We've seen a lot of things happening in the country, and we'll be talking about them. The incident in Eldoret, the reaction, the conversations around it, even what the president was saying yesterday when he attended church in Pipeline, and what he said. Also, we are seeing, as the political season hots up, there's a lot that's happening. There's what we are seeing in terms of ODM and the nomination, and how the nominations are being conducted, and whether the conversations are taking place, or whether it's just a decision or by the your party elections board to not have nomination exercise in some parts or so. In fact, we can even start with that.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to SpiceFM radio today. I thank God this morning. This is my first time to be here. I've been here for long, but today I can see some changes around. And it's so amazing and wonderful.
Good.
Yes, I'm starting with the nomination process. We started our nominations, our primaries last week. And when we met at National Governing Council, we agreed we have four patterns of electing our nominees for MCAs, MPs, senators, governors, senators, and women rep. We agreed we go by consensus. We can go by delegate meeting delegates of ward or constituency to nominate the candidates. So it's in order that every delegate in ODM, when we met at Kasarani, we agreed as the resolutions were passed so that we can go that way to nominate our candidates.
Okay. So who determines where nominations are going to take place?
The National Election Board. The National Election Board, coordinating with the county coordinating team, the party structure from the ward. You see, we have the ward level. That is, we have chairman with the 60 delegates. They agree with the National Election Board, the venue to conduct the primaries.
Okay. So specific to Nairobi, because I'm sure now you are, part of the leadership of ODM in Nairobi. Are you conducting nominations for all seats in Nairobi, or are there some that there is some negotiations that are taking place?
Yeah, some negotiations are taking place, and consensus are still on course. And Nairobi will be on 20th of this month. It will be the last one because it's very hot. Nairobi is very hot, and we have a lot of interests. So our nomination will take place on 20th this month.
The rumors are already flying, and maybe in some cases not just rumors, but we already see that direct nominations are taking place, and that it's going to cause some hiccups along the lines. What do you have to say about that? I mean, here we are, certain individuals saying they knew they would come to a point whereby they would compete at that level. Yeah, but then now the talk of direct nominations is happening, and then you want to ask why? Yeah,
let's say, for example, like me, I saw my name that I was given a direct nomination. But for me, I'm preparing for nomination on 20th. I know we have three candidates, me, Mheshimiwa Ndolo, and another man called Jack. We are three and contesting on ODM for parliamentary seat in Makadara. So about the direct nomination, I cannot talk much because I know it's part of the party to nominate or to give direct nomination to anybody among the party structure.
Party structure.
Yes.
So for you're prepared to face Ruben Dolo and Jack.
I faced him last election.
This battle of yours has actually been a quite interesting one. Ruben Dolo and George Aladwa.
Yes. It has been there. 2017, we went for nomination. I defeated him. And I'm ready even to defeat him this one. Because, this politics, and some people say because Aladwa is very close to the party leader, he'll be given direct nomination. No, I've not been given direct nomination. I saw the list last week, but I can assure my people that I was not given direct nomination.
Okay.
Yes.
You're waiting for the
I'm
Kenya
waiting
Nyero.
for nomination day.
All right.
That is 20th this month.
Let's talk about how parties are conducting their campaigns now. Various individuals and various political parties. We saw what happened in Eldoret over the weekend, where now we have members of parliament and a speaker who've been summoned by the DCI to go and record statement about what they know or may not have noticed or observed around this incident, where the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential hopeful Raila Odinga's helicopter was pelted with stones, forcing the pilot to abort takeoff. The president even talking about it yesterday. I mean, this was a potentially risky issue that took place. The deputy president coming out immediately to say, you know what happened, we condemn it and we apologize to Raila for what happened. The speaker of the governor of Uasin County coming to say, I always uphold violence and we talk against violence. What do you think was happening in this particular case?
I think, you see, they think that Uasin Gishu or Soy, it's Ruto staff. It's Ruto staff home, and you cannot go there and ask for votes. And this is something I condemned. I condemn very strongly, because when I see my competitor coming to ask for votes in my area, it's not wrong. So I want to tell Sudi and Kositani to style up their politics. Because when you come out and say, where you start brushing yourself and saying that you don't care, it's very wrong. Because when somebody like Raila goes to Uasin Gishu and is torn, the helicopter is torn by youths, it's very wrong. We need peace in this country. We need people to campaign with peace. You can go to Kakamega, you can go to Mombasa and ask for votes. We are all Kenyans. And when the election day comes, then the person who will be voted as the president will all support him because he'll be a Kenyan.
How much influence do you think leaders have over their supporters? In the sense that, do you think then that leaders bear the responsibility of then how their supporters behave?
Of course, yes. You see, when you want to show your muscles, you can hire youths and they cause trouble. And that's why we are calling up upon all the leaders to campaign peacefully. And you see, when the president was talking yesterday outside the church, he was appealing to all leaders to campaign peacefully so that we can have a peaceful election. When you stone an opponent, when you heckle an opponent, that's not politics. Because we need to get an agenda of the person who is being elected, and you let people hear the agendas of the presidential candidates, the MPs, the MCAs, so that they can make their decision. So when you hire youths, you hire people and go and heckle. Because us as politicians, we have that muscles. You can hire youths, go and heckle somebody, but that's not the end. The end is the D-Day for the elections. And that's the way, and that's why I'm appealing for the youths to be patient and see and not be carried out to cause chaos.
What's the inside story to this? I mean, this is not the first time during this campaign period that Raila has gone to Eldoret. He's been there before.
Yes.
The last time he was there, it was widely publicized. There was a huge crowd that were following him around. He was cheered. He came. He campaigned. He left. Completely peaceful. So why would there be an incident this particular time?
You see, things are changing. When he was there, the president has not communicated to people that he's supporting him. Now the president has come out and say he's supporting Raila Odinga for the presidential as a presidential candidate of Azimio. And that's why the people of Rift Valley, they're feeling that the president let them down. And they are very bitter about the decision. And that's why they came out, they were hired to cause chaos on Saturday. And that was very bad.
So the bitterness is towards the president,
yes,
not necessarily towards Raila.
No, it's towards the president supporting Raila.
I see.
Yes.
The time when the deputy president went to campaign in Nyanza, it was largely peaceful, save for that one incident in Kondele, where again there was some sort of skirmishes, some youth heckling and throwing stones as well to the deputy president's motorcade. We did not see the kind of reaction that we are seeing here today?
You see, this is about politics, my brother. And when Ruto was heckled in Kisumu or Kondele, I can't say much of that because I didn't follow what was happening in Kisumu. This one, I saw it in social media yesterday about the helicopter, the one who was carrying our Prime Minister. And I feel that my appeal to all, from Azimio side and the Kenya Kwanza side, let us have peaceful campaigns. Let us have a peaceful election. And I think after 9th, we'll remain Kenyan. Yes.
There was one thing you said, that you cannot go and campaign in your opponent's side. Not what you would like it to be, but what it currently is. Is that the case? Because I think that's where all of this stems from. That there is a thinking that it is difficult for you to go and campaign in the area of your arch rival, for example. Is that what we are seeing right now?
Yeah, that's what we are seeing right now. And that's
that you are uncomfortable going into quote-unquote enemy territory.
Yes, that's why we are saying, and we are appealing to anybody who is campaigning for for the presidential campaign. Let us have peaceful campaign. When Ruto goes to Kakamega, let him campaign, let him say what he wants to say, let him show the people agenda, then let him go peacefully. And that's why we are saying when Raila goes to Rift Valley, let him preach whatever he wants to say in Rift Valley and give his agendas for Azimio as a presidential candidate, and let people be free to go anywhere in this country. This is our country. And I'm also repeating that after 9th, we remain Kenyans.
You know, this is not the only incident. In fact, there's a story in the Standard today that is highlighting some of the incidences that we've seen recently. There was one in Nairobi where a convoy of Nairobi woman rep Esther Passaris was attacked while on the campaign near Deep Sea Slum in Westlands constituency. Attackers allegedly demanding money from Passaris to allow her into the slums. They broke the windscreen of the truck, and quick action from the police is what saved her and her team. They even grabbed the car keys for the truck. They wanted money. This was not about no, it was
money.
Lete bwana ndio ingie hapa.
I saw it. What I'm saying, when we are going for campaigns, you give the police your schedule, because you see, when you go alone and you want to ask for votes in Kijijis, Kijijis, we have tough people, and they were demanding that after 5 years, is that when you are coming back to ask us for votes? Yeah. So what I'm asking for all politicians, when you go somewhere, let people give police the notice that I'm having this schedule for my election. I'm having this schedule this weekend. Ask for police. We had our tour last 2 weeks, and we had a very peaceful tour because we had police on our side, because we give them notice and they gave us they provide us with the security. It's very important. When you go alone, you can face anything. So I'm asking all politicians, because it's risk when you go alone. You can see what happened to Passaris. It was wrong. For the youth to demand to take the key from his vehicle, and she was campaigning. It was very wrong. So I'm asking the police to provide security.
Is this a problem that you politicians have created?
How?
That expectation that there's going to be a handout, that expectation that you're going to have mobilizers on the ground that have money, that so when you're coming, there's already a group that has been mobilized with cash to prepare for you, to prepare your way, and to be able to be ready to heckle and deal with anybody who's opposing your agenda. Is that not what you created as politicians?
No, we don't create those situations. Because when you go to campaigns, let's say, for example, you are going to campaign in Kasarani and you're asking for votes for governor or senator, you just organize yourself with your team on the ground. You go there and you sell your agendas. And when you say people are being hired to heckle, or you hire people, it's very wrong. We don't hire people. We don't pay people. People come alone. And when you mobilize your people to on the ground to support you, you go there, you talk to them, then you have your team advance team to the ground, then you talk to them.
How much money do you spend?
No, we don't spend anything.
Really?
Yes, of
During
course.
during these rallies?
It's just logistics.
During these
Logistics,
rallies,
you can have logistics.
What does logistics entail?
You see where you have vehicles, where you fuel them, you have your people for lunch, you buy them lunch. You don't give people money to support you. It's just logistics, small logistics here and there.
Have you faced expectations from crowds where they say, all right, yes, you may have organized logistics for your small group of mobilizers and organizers, but the rest of us are expecting something?
No, for me, no.
Never ever.
Never. Because when I go to Makongeni, I go to Mbotela, I go to Maringo, I just go and talk to them. They know me. What I tell them, what I've done. For the last 5 years, I've been the member of parliament for Makadara. So they see the agenda. I've built school, I've constructed roads, I've given them bursary for the schools. So you just sell your agenda.
You know, you've been in parliament, you've also been in the county. Right?
Yes, I've been the mayor.
Yes, you've been in the county. You have been elected as a councillor. You've also been elected by the councillors as the mayor of Nairobi. You've done Nairobi politics. Are you telling me, George, that there is nowhere where you went campaigning and people expected that you're going to leave something?
No, I've never met
50, I'm sitting,
No, hakuna.
Mia.
Hakuna. You see, when you talk to people,
Yes.
I've been elected 9 times in Nairobi. This is my 9th time being sworn in. As a member of parliament and my Nairobi politics, I've never done such a thing.
Do you know people who have?
Do you know people who do it?
No, I've never.
Okay. Now, okay. What would cause? I mean, this is just one example. What we've seen over the weekend. This is one thing that happened. It is not the first time that
Yes,
it happened.
yes.
And if we look at the trend that is currently taking place, it is not the last time that it is going to happen. Without some of the things that you're saying need to be introduced. What would cause somebody to pick up something like that and then essentially try to cause harm without any kind of incentive, without any kind of incentive? What would cause somebody to do that?
You see, these people are organized there, and they were ferried. So,
For free?
Some meeting took place somewhere. And the way I was seeing the situation yesterday, these people are ferried. They're accusing the governor of ferrying people to cause chaos, to heckle people, to open opponents, and it happens.
For free.
People are. You see, I cannot say because for me, I've not done that.
Okay.
But I was just reading what happened to Baba on Saturday. People are ferried, people are paid to come and cause chaos, and people are were instructed to throw stones at him. And you can imagine, this is a politician like me. So why? Even me, I'm asking why. Why? Why this?
What do you think needs to happen? Because we're 4 months away from the election, and as it is, things have not even gotten to their maximum heat yet. The likelihood that things might get a little bit more, a little hotter is actually very high. What do you think needs to happen? We know people have been arrested. We know that people have made statements. We know from what we've seen before that there's a volatile situation on ground. You've said yourself, you cannot walk into quote unquote enemy territory and just go and start campaigning, which should not be the case. What do you think needs to happen to calm the situation, or to even put it in the minds of people that violence is not the way to go?
We need to have meetings. IBC to come together with the people who are contesting. We need to get police on board. Everybody has to come on board. Then we talk with one language. Because after the end of the day, we'll have just one winner, not two. We'll have one winner. So as politicians who are contesting for various seats, they think that they have to win. They have to win. And when you have that mentality of you have to win, then you just have to cause chaos. Yes.
So in your reading of this, Mheshimiwa George Aladwa,
Yes.
this was organized.
Of course.
Whatever happened to Raila on Saturday was organized.
Yes, it was organized.
The
Because
only thing we don't know is who organized it.
they said the governor of Washingishu,
Who said?
the Mandagor, Sudi, when you were talking yesterday after going to the DCI offices in Washingishu, because he was told to go to
So
Nakuru.
police summoned him to answer questions and to give information that he has.
Yes.
And the information that he gave was pointing a finger at
to the governor.
the governor.
Yes.
And the local MP, Kositani,
Yes.
pointed a finger at someone else.
Yes.
So we have
So they
fingers
knew
that-
something. They know something. Yeah? And when you know something, let them go to the police and say who organized the entire thing. Because it was not normal thing that Raila can go to Washingishu for a burial of his friend Kibor and then he stoned there. That was very wrong. You can imagine the situation.
Indeed.
Yes.
Let's take a break. It's 29 minutes after 9. This is Kenya's biggest conversation, the Situation Room on SpiceFM and online. Our guest is George Aladwa, MP, Makadara constituency, and also Nairobi ODM chairman. We are talking about attacks during political campaigns, how to have peaceful campaign period up to the 9th of August this year. We'd like to open up the phone lines after this break so you can join in 0719 012 600.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Classic soul, R&B, smooth jazz, neo soul, and nostalgic ballads.
We see a lot of violence, Mheshimiwa, especially as we get closer and closer to the election. And this happens. You have got the experience. You've told us. You've been elected 9 times.
Yes, in
As a
Nairobi.
councillor, as member of parliament,
And as a mayor.
as mayor. Yes? You see, the mayor, I say, is because you've been elected by a select group of your fellow councillors.
Yes.
Now, you've been elected all this time by the people.
Yes.
So you have good experience in how to run campaigns in
Correct.
Nairobi.
Correct.
You've also seen the kind of incidences of violence that erupt, not just in Nairobi, but across the country. And you're asking, how normally is this organized? Is it spontaneous violence where groups clash when they meet? Or is it organized violence where somebody has actually sponsored people to come and disrupt a meeting?
You see, when I saw this when we were having our last tour, every candidate comes with
Their supporters.
supporters, and they are contesting one seat. We have 3, 4, 5 candidates. Then everybody wants to talk, shine the other. Now that's the time when you can see something is happening, something has been done. So when you sponsor people and you're a politician, you're asking for votes, and you give people money to go and heckle your opponent, then you're not doing good politics. Good politics is selling your agenda, what you want to do for the people. You can be 10, you can be 11, you can be 5, but just be open and tell the people, this is my agenda, and leave the other, leave your competitor also to talk. And when you talk and your people heckle, and you cannot tell your people to calm down, it's very wrong. So what I'm asking every politician to conduct himself in a manner that you're asking for votes. These Kenyans are not fools nowadays. People wamechanuka, watu wamechanuka mtaa, wamechanuka kwa hizi estates, wamechanuka kwa hizi counties. Watu macho yao iko juu, watakuchagua watu ambao wanaleta maendeleo kwa wananchi, sio watu wana cause vita kwa wananchi. So I'm calling upon the politicians to conduct themselves in a good manner.
You've said you have never, and you've sworn here that you have never sponsored people to go and heckle somebody else's meeting.
Yes.
You've never even paid money, to buy voters.
Yes.
Have you been a victim of the same?
No. People know me.
Has anybody ever sponsored people to come and disrupt your
I've not
meeting?
seen. Like my last meeting, I went with Ndolo. I go with Ndolo to churches. We ask for votes. I ask for votes. Because we have the day for that nomination. People will decide. And when I sponsor people to heckle Ndolo, to heckle the other opponent, why? I ask myself, why? Because if they want to reject you, they'll reject you. If they want to elect you or elect you, they'll elect you or elect you. So it's good to see, to talk to your people and tell them your agenda.
Okay.
So when you go to with your opponent, you want to heckle your opponent in front of in front of the supporters, it's not good.
We've been told here by other members of parliament that one of the reasons why campaigns have become very expensive is because you've got to dish out money.
Every weekend.
That thing of organizing logistics is money. Bringing people together is money. And then when you go to a meeting, we hear, kila mtu hapa lunch. Now, you say you don't do that. Are you saying that your campaigns have been
You say it was
relatively cheaper
I was
than
in my
others?
rural home. I saw it. What we're saying.
Lunch.
In rural, in my rural home. Even me, I was shocked because in Nairobi you don't do those kind of politics.
So what's the difference? Is it the expectation of the people?
I think so. Because kuna njaa kwa ground. So people think that when you come, you have a lot of money and you want to be re-elected. So they hold you at ransom. Give us money, we elect you. Give us money, we hear you. So you will just give in and give the money. They hold people at ransom at some time. We saw what happened to Pasaris.
Where do you think this started? Where do you
It
think
started
people
long
where do you think people have formed the perception in their minds that when politicians come to them to speak about what their intentions are, that they can get something from them? Or who started it?
In Kenya, you see, in Kenya politics, when I started my politics as a councillor, I saw it. People asking for money from me. When I was starting my campaign, that's way back 1992, when I was elected as a councillor. And I was telling them, I'm a Mta guy. I don't have any job. How do I give you money? Just elect me so that I can do good things for you. Then I talked to them and I campaigned vigorously. And I was elected as a councillor. So it depends how you treat your people, how you talk to your people.
The next time you went back to them in 97,
Yes.
and you were seeking re-election,
Yes.
you could not go and say, mimi ni mtu wa mtaa. I mean,
I went and say mi ni mtu wa mtaa.
umekuwa City Hall, miaka
No.
tano, uko na kitu.
I went and I told them I'm mtu wa mtaa. You see, I'm saying there is a difference between giving money and development. And you see, people in mtaa, they don't believe in money. They believe in development. Because we are in the city. And people, things are growing up. So when you go and give people money, then they elect you. Then after that, where will you go? You'll have to go to get other money to fill the gap.
For the development.
Yes. And you also steal the money from CDF, from the World Development Fund. Because you gave money, now you're broke. You're being elected as a broke MP, as a broke councillor or MCA. So that's stealing from the kit.
If you compare, when you look at the campaigns that are conducted in Nairobi, like you said, there's a difference between Nairobi and upcountry.
Yes.
Campaigning in Nairobi and campaigning in, say, Western Kenya, which one is more expensive to an aspirant?
Western Kenya.
Why?
Because you see, people traverse a lot. You see, like in my constituency, I have only 4 wards, just very close to one another. Like Makongeni, Kaloleni is Botela, Maringo, Maringo is Jericho, Jericho is Viwandani. Just traverse in a small way. But when you go to, like me, I come from Sabatia and Viga, you traverse, the constituency is very big. You go to funerals, people want money. You go to Harambes, people want money. You go to a meeting,
You go to church.
development, you go to church, they line up for money. And you see, after 1 week, you're not there.
Yeah.
Like me in my constituency, I'm there daily. You see, they're different. Because this one travels on weekend.
Yeah.
He goes to Western, then Monday he comes back,
He has to be back
to
for
attend
Parliament.
Parliament. Then 1 week he's not there. Things are happening on the ground. They need money. So you can imagine.
But what created that culture of people wanting money?
I don't understand. Because for me, I've not done that. I can tell you completely.
You talk to
I
fellow
know you
members of
cannot.
parliament. I mean, 30 years as an elected leader, you must have a clue.
No, for me, you see, I cannot come here and cheat people that there is people are giving money to support or to do this. For me, I plan for myself. I talk to my people. I tell them this is the way forward. You can see you can have your campaigners on the ground. Logistics, small logistics like fare, traveling here and there. That's not giving money to like handouts. It's just logistics. For you to campaign for me, you need to go here. You need to have your credit on your phone. You see, that's a logistics. The one I do.
Okay. I still want to go back to that. In fact, we had a question here from Ben, and it's just along the lines of what I wanted to say. He says that Mheshimiwa said you cannot go and campaign in your opponent's stronghold, right? does it mean that it could be a strategy that ODM is using to stop their opponents from going to campaign in their own strongholds?
No, I didn't say that. I said everybody's free to go anywhere in this country to campaign.
But the perception is that you cannot go to your opponent's stronghold because right now you might be treated with some kind of hostility. Or is that the situation on the
Of
ground?
course, yes. Because you see, like, let's say, for example, Nyanza is an ODM zone, Rift Valley is a UDA zone. So you cannot expect to go and sell ODM in Rift Valley. But it's good to go and sell your candidature because it's good they listen to you, even if they not vote for you.
How do you think folks are going to get over that? That it doesn't matter who comes into your territory, it doesn't matter who comes to you to campaign, that folks will be accepting of the individual, at least hear what they have to say. What do you think needs to happen for this perception to change?
This position we have to change because when we say we want Kenyans to come together, we are appealing to Kenyans to come together, to work together, to do everything together. This is a general election. General election is done only one day, and after that, we go back to our businesses. So what I'm saying, and what I'm appealing to the people who are contesting for various seats, let somebody go and ask for his votes and sell his agenda. That one will help our campaigns, will help our politics, and people will understand, and the perception will be good for us.
Indeed.
You know, the issue of violence and sponsoring youth is not new.
Yes.
And we've been in this for a long time.
Yes.
We have seen also in Nairobi, there's an issue of, youth and gangs.
Yes.
You don't come into this zone. This zone, you've got to understand the youth that control the zone.
Correct.
Makadara, I'm sure you have various youth
Yes,
groups
yes,
that
yes.
claim to control the zones. Why do politicians use this youth to, fund violence?
Yeah,
Like in your area, in Maringo, in Botella, you'll find
they're there.
they're there.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good question. What I can say from my side, or that when this youth comes to these campaigns, they demand a lot, and you can see. You have said we have youth, we have gangs. Gangs have been there, and when this campaign period, they use these campaign periods to hold politicians as ransom. Give us money, or
we don't.
Yes, don't come to this base. You cannot come here. And that's why I'm saying we need to have police on board. Because when you going for campaign, you need to give your schedule to the police so that you can have security, even for yourself.
It has been said that politicians create or support these gangs. So people know, hii ni jeshi ya Aladwa. Right? Now, you like it, even if they're not demanding money from you throughout, but you like it for people to know, you come to Motella, there are people
This is
who...
my place.
Yeah.
But you can see when you have those gangs and people will know that you have gangs in any campaign or any meeting or any estate, they know this is a gang of Aladwa. And they're telling people that killing people in Mta, they're abusing people in Mta. People cannot give you votes. They'll associate you with the gangs. You see, that's another perception people will have against you. And it's very wrong. When they see that this Jeshi Aladwa, this Jeshi so-and-so, and they're fighting over, they're abusing people, they're intimidating people. And this is a campaign period when we need to talk to people to give you votes.
So the gangs are dangerous.
They're dangerous. Of course, they're dangerous.
What have you done in the last 30 years to dismantle gangs in Nairobi?
We have these self-help groups. We have created so many self-help groups through the government, the CBOs. And we are giving them funds. We have Weso funds. We have youth fund. We get money to boost their activities. We have loans up from one bob to $1 million to 5 million. So it's upon them to organize themselves, and they bring their proposals. Then we work on them.
Are there cases where you can tell us, as George Aladwa,
Yes.
there used to be a gang called this and the other,
Yes.
and I helped dismantle that gang
Yes.
by empowering the youth? Can you give us like one or two cases?
For me, it's not about gangs in my area. It's about youths coming together. They're behaving like gangs, but they're not gangs. Because when you talk to them, they tell you, this is our problem. If we get this, we can do this. Then you hear them. Then we sit down, go and tell them, give them money to go and register for their group. open the account so that they can get money. Because when you give them money daily, how will you condemn them?
So I'm asking for an example.
Yes.
One group, for example.
I don't have a group. We have been having some youths coming together, around 5, 10, 15, holding people as ransom. Then you call them. Because these are people, you know them. They know you as a leader. You call them, you have a meeting with them, tell them, this is what I'm hearing from people, against you people. What's not happening? Then they tell you, they come open. Then you come with a proposal, you give them, then you set them going on the ground. Then they have a project. We have this car wash, we have this, they have a lot of things they're doing there. So you have to help them.
Like what? Like car wash?
Car wash, we have car wash, driving. They go for driving. You buy them motorbikes for their businesses, border. You can buy them too. You can join the 3, 1, 4, 1, and then they start there.
See, the thing is, we see all these things happening with every candidate.
Yes.
So the local MCA will have a project similar to that one.
Correct.
The MP will have a project similar to that.
Yes.
The woman rep with what's it called, the fund? Nga.
Ngaf.
The NGAF fund will have the similar kind of projects. Senator without a fund will also try and mobilize something. And then the governor will also do similar projects. But none of them sounds long-term.
That's a very, very good question. And when we have this public participation, and that's why we have this public participation, when we have this public participation, what I do, I call the MCS. We team up together so that we can do one thing that will give us credit. So when you give this to this group, I do this to other group. So it's about public participation, coming together and asking the community, what do you want? We have youths here, we have Wamama here. What do we do? Then from there you can get something to do for them.
Okay. As a seasoned leader in Nairobi, do you think Nairobi as a county is viable?
Yes, it's viable. Nairobi as a county is viable.
How would you sell that? Because there are those who sit back and ask themselves, we have seen the NMS coming in, and NMS has delivered more than we have seen 2 governors deliver in 2 terms. Why do we need to go back to have a governor in office?
You see, when people were electing the governor of Nairobi, they thought that he'll solve the problems we are having. When I was the mayor, we were getting 4.5 per ward for our development. Nowadays, we see the ward fund is 20 million annually for every MCA. So when you say this NMS thing came when we had so many battles at City Hall, and when you go to City Hall as a governor or as a leader, and you don't have that focus, you'll fail, total fail. And that's why NMS came in through the president order that they come in for this period so that they can work for Nairobi. Because you see, Sonko failed as a governor, and you saw what happened. So he was removed through the impeachment.
So the question is, do you need to have another governor if clearly this service is doing the work and it's working well across sector?
If NMS is
You want
working,
to-
why
NMS is
disband
working.
it?
Why disband it?
We can continue with that because when I was the mayor, I saw it in Uganda, Kampala. We have an executive officer like NMS. The DG, we have a DG in Kampala City Council, and he's doing a lot of work for the people of Kampala. So we can still maintain NMS, but not as that entity. We can change the entity
Change it to what?
to something else, because you see, when you say NMS and
What would it be changing
Yeah,
to?
you can change.
So
You
even
can
if we change a name, but you still have the same, it's a national government.
because they have done a good
organ.
work in Nairobi. The people are feeling what they have done. The Mr. Badi, the DG, and his team. You can see the roads. You can see the hospitals. You can see the
Water.
water. They have done a lot of good job. And for me, I support them fully. And I say, Congole.
So you don't feel that Nairobi needs a governor then? in
We
the
need a
county
governor
system?
because the term of NMS is over. We need a governor, somebody who is elected.
But there's the old saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So here you have something that's working Because it has come from something that wasn't.
Yes.
You've now put in something that is working and working well. Why would you want to go back to the thing that was not working before?
No. We need to have a governor, my sister. We had this one when I was a councillor. We had Shigoli. Shigoli was a brigadier. When Nairobi was very dirty, he was appointed to clean up the city. It has been done by Uhuru through Badi. Badi's time is coming to an end. Let him go.
And take us back to where we were before things were not
working.
working.
It depends on who will be the governor now.
Okay.
You see, that's a Sharia. It's a constitutional thing.
So
you cannot brush it off.
It's the quality of the person who's elected as
Yes, individually.
governor. Okay.
Yes.
What should people be looking out for?
People who can, the person who can bring change, a good person who can listen to people. I was the mayor. It's good to listen to the people, what they want. And you can see you have the funds through the funds which are given by the National Treasury. And when you have a huge amount of money given by you can do a good development in the city. You just plan. And you have a good team on the ground. Yes. When you have a good team on the ground, you can do good job and people will be happy.
What about the quality of the member of county assembly?
The MCS.
Yes.
What about them?
What about the quality of MCA that we end up electing?
You see, when people have given their nomination papers to be elected as MCS, as MPs, that's where you can now choose because we have the nomination for all the parties.
Yeah.
We have the candidates there. The people you have the sitting MCS, sitting MPs, sitting senators. And now people are coming to unseat them.
Yeah.
So when the people come and sit them, you can choose from the people who are contesting. You can have 5, 10 MCS and they're contesting on different parties, but you can choose the person who can give you development. I need people who can give people development.
Yeah.
It's not about yourself.
Do you think the people of Nairobi have, in the last 2 county governments, do you think the people of Nairobi have elected the best MCAs and the best governor?
Not all of them. Not all of them. But there is MCS who have done a lot of works in our several wards. You can go and see. But there is other MCS who have done nothing. Even the MPs, even the governors.
What do you think is leading to this poor quality of selection?
Individually, because when you choose somebody individually and he cannot deliver, then why do you elect a person like that? You need to see them when they present themselves to you. Because now people are presenting themselves to and for their nomination papers. And you know them. The people who are contesting, everybody knows them from the ward level, from the constituency level. We have the candidates from UDA, ODM, Jubilee, you know them. So you can judge from the people they're contesting.
The quality.
Yes, the quality. And you can see this can bring development. And that's why we say, bring your agendas. Yeah, bring your agendas. Tell us your agendas. Even the presidential candidates, they bring the agendas to the people so that you can see who will be the president who you can elect the president of the Republic of Kenya.
I'll ask you now a similar question. Of the 17 members of the National Assembly elected in Nairobi, do you think the people of Nairobi have made good choices in the last 2 terms?
Of course, I cannot say yes or no. But you see, this depends. I was elected in Makadara.
Yeah. So
And
say for yourself.
Okay.
No,
apart
the
from
people
What
of
are the others?
I don't know the others because I don't go to their constituencies.
They're in
You see,
Nairobi,
and they're in Nairobi. And
You're the
they'll be-
ODM chairman in Nairobi.
I'm
You've
the
been
ODM
traversing
chairman, but
this
about
county.
performance, you see the performance, my brother, it depends on somebody himself. Like me, I'm in Makadara. The people of Makadara will judge. If I've done good development, they'll elect me. If not, I'll go home.
As ODM boss in Nairobi, and there are several MPs, would you say that, well, we got it right in 2017?
We've been doing a good job. The way you've seen the NMS has done a good job.
Like me in ODM, I've seen Tim Wanyonyi in Westlands has done a lot of good job. Anton Olwach of Madare has done a good job. Imran has built so many schools. Imran of Kibra. Simba. Babu Wino has done a lot of good job in Embakasi East. And TJ. Dagoretti North. Simba has done a lot of good job because he's going for
TJ Kajwang.
TJ Kajwang. in Roraka. Those are my members of ODM, where I'm the chair. I always visit them. And I always visit them. They invite me, I go there.